Hello, this is Bridget Bow with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, I have past life energies here. I have my deck that I made, which is Past Life Oracle. And then I have Doreen Virtue's Past Life Oracle. And then I have some of my Masculine Madness number 2. And I think that's it. There's one here from Tantric Twin. This is Pound My Heart, Press My Mind, Release My Stress, Twist and Grind. So, first card that was out was the Wars and Battles. Like, I actually had other cards out, like, on the table, so I was picking those up and putting things away. And this one was like, I don't want to be out. So I'm like, alright, you're coming out. This is Wars and Battles, and I feel the royalty card came out, so for some reason, sometimes I look at this card and I'm like, this is the Galactic War. Like, even though it's definitely not, this is like war, here. But I still get that energy, especially when the royalty comes out, because the Galactic War was between Lyra and Orion, and Lyra is the royal ones. They're like half lion-like beings, and if you look at the Sphinx and all of the statues in Egypt, they look like that. And Egypt's basically, like their shrine. Basically, it's like, hey, they're just being, honored and respected. But I feel that whoever is connecting with this, like, this could be your energy, or this could be maybe the person that you're connected to's energy. Like, if you have a divine counterpart, if you're like, I feel like this is like masculine energy, because we had ancient Rome come through, we had fighter come through, we had resentment come through, we had dark entity come through, we've got murder, prisoner, poor, slave. Like, this is all war shit, okay? I feel like your person, if it's a masculine, which I know many of my people are feminines that watch my stuff, I feel like this is probably a feminine watching this for a masculine at this time. And your person may have been in the Galactic War, and they may have been in other wars after that, because it repeated. History repeats until we clear our karma. So, they may have been in ancient Rome and, like, fighting there. They may have been here in the States and fought around here. I feel like they've kind of just had, like, this resentment that maybe they just fight anyways, because the murder card, it's like, whenever I see this one, it reminds, they had the fighter here. So, aggressive, ready to fight, defensive. You were the killer in a fight. So, this person has killed people, definitely. And they're a dark entity at one point, so that's even worse. Like, fights natural urge to embrace the darkness. Last life in duality of the light. So they may be in this life right now trying to be in the light so that they can get out and not keep incarnating into war, battle, and darkness. It looks like somebody has pretty old soul, because Lyra is the ancient peeps. Like, they're the oldest in our little area. And, this says, full of depth and wisdom, not much of a childhood, lived many lives, very old at passing. So, I feel, your person's probably going to live a very long life, but they've probably already done that too, like on a soul level. And with the earth, it says, respect or fear of earth, earthquake, landslide, death by natural disaster. So they could have even, had a life where that just happened. Like, no war this time, or either that they were in the middle of, like, the, stuff, and war came down on them. Maybe they, like, buried him alive. And murder says, afraid of conflict, peacemaker, someone took your life too soon. Now, I feel like that could be the opposite side. Like, for some of you, like, you could have somebody that if they went through all this shit, they could be like, like shell-shocked. But I feel like this may be somebody else's energy. Like, this could be, like, the person who's viewing this. Like, if your energy may be more of a peacemaker, you may be somebody that's more, like, already, like, in the light. I feel like you may have had stuff happen to you too, though, because we get the hung and burnt. So this is like witches, whenever there was a witch around, they would hang that bitch. So you may have been hung. And your person may have been, enslaved, or you could have even been enslaved too, because they would take slaves as well for the witches. But it says, freedom fighter protest injustice. Earth is a slave system, can't settle in a job or relationship or stay too long. So because somebody was like enslaved, they're like, I need to be free. So if that resonates for you, that could be your energy, or that could be the person's energy. If you have a runner, that would make sense, that they were a slave or a prisoner, and they see through the control system of Earth, so they're awake. They need freedom, or seclusion. It's like, I have a need for freedom or seclusion. Just like, let me go out there by myself. Don't fucking come near me. And I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, because I'm holding a lot of fucking resentment from all these battles and all this death and all this crap that I had to go through. So it makes sense to me. And then we have the persecution and inquisition down here. So again, with that hung or burnt, I feel like this is probably like the feminine energy. Somebody was probably hung or burnt because they were a witch, or magical, or made tea. Like you could die back then for just making the tea the wrong way. And then we had poor, struggling to manifest, lack and difficult upbringing, leave lack mentality. So that could be either one of you, but if somebody's been a prisoner and a slave, like that's pretty shitty conditions usually. Even like going to war, it's not like they're like usually having a banquet every night. They're fucking at war. So they could have kind of felt like a slave to war, to battle, because a lot of times that's guys are. They're like, oh, I'm fighting for my country, or I'm fighting for my fucking spaceship. I don't know what they fought for. But I feel like sometimes you may hold resentment to that. Like I didn't even want to be in that battle. I didn't even want to fight. And I'm still stuck on this stupid earth. And with Peru, they could have had a life, or you could have had a life in Peru. Or you may have a calling to go to Peru. There could be healing that can occur there, because that's where they do the soul retrievals. They do a lot of work. Like, you don't have to specifically go there. You could have them do it probably long distance, but I feel like some of you may resonate with this energy, or you may be called to like shamanism. It's where the Quero shamans are. And we had leaving or travel here. So I feel like whoever you're connected to, again, maybe somebody that likes to leave and travel a lot. They're always running around. They need to have freedom. They need to be like, here I go. Like, let me go. Because of what they've been through, just being undermined all that time. So they may be very impulsive, always ready for an adventure beside you. Let's go. They're like let's just go, I don't care. But they have chains that bind to you, so they're sexually bound to you. So you probably have like a very strong connection to that person, sexually, and they may be like very impulsive and want to travel and do all that stuff and run around, but when they're not with you, they're like, I just want to touch you again. So they like to touch you. And you might like to touch them or touch yourself when you think about them, because you have thinking of you fingering. And we have, I fantasize about touching you all the time, sensuality. So some people here like to touch each other, I guess. And then we had uproar, let's cause some chaos. So again, it's like very much aligned to this energy. Like, I'm a fighter. I'm this like person. I'm gonna do some crazy shit. But this person says, I know I've done some really stupid things and I'm so sorry. So they may have, ghosted or disappeared or ran away. They could have, held on to resentment towards you, and you may have not even done anything. Or they could have, like, maybe you did do something and they just held on to resentment for fucking ever. Sometimes people do that. But they don't like distance between the two of you. So they're saying, I hate it, you feel so far away, and yet I know how close you really are. So you may be in close proximity to them. If, like you may live kind of near this person, but like maybe you're not talking emotionally right now. So it's like there's big distance. Or it could be the other way around. Like maybe there's physical distance, but the emotional, like maybe you talk to this person a lot and, it's like feels like you have very close to me, but the distance, the physical distance could be a problem for some of you. So take it as it resonates. We also have everything is falling apart. I'm a failure with instability. So there could be some stuff lingering from whatever's happened in these, other lives. Like when you're a dark entity and murderer and doing some nasty shit, sometimes that stuff lingers and you got to clear it, you got to heal it, you got to get rid of it so that things are more stable around you in your new life, because we don't need to bring all of that with us. It's just baggage. It's like, we don't need that baggage. But this person may be feeling pissed off too. They're like, I keep fucking this up and it pisses me off to no end. So if they've screwed up things with you, or they like, like, you know, maybe have some issues from all of this stuff that they've been through. They may feel like pissed off, like when they make a mistake, or they say something that they didn't mean to say, or they do something that they didn't really want to do. And then we, you know, with this one here, it was release my stress, twist and grind. I feel like this person could be under a lot of stress. And they're saying, I feel like a psycho when I don't know what is going on. So they may have like pushed you away, and then they're like, well, I don't know what's going on now, I want to know what's going on. Like, they may not like it, but they may be kind of having a big ego if they're the fighter, you know, this person that's like, usually they're not going to want to admit otherwise that they like don't, that they're this person, you know, strong, very confident, have everything under control. But you have what they need. So there's something about you that is driving this person crazy. They say, please don't let this drive you crazy. I love you. So you may be feeling crazy because of this. Like, this person could have given you a lot of, you know, like not great stuff. If you got a dark entity energy, resentment, fighter, you know, this seems like somebody that may be a little like a ready to cause chaos, basically. And that may be difficult to handle sometimes. So, you know, don't let it drive you crazy. I think they do care about you, but they may have a hard time showing it, or they may just have a hard time in general with life, because it looks like there's some shit here that would linger. And they say, the more confident you are, the more I want you. So the more confident you are, the more it turns this person on. They say that ass is so appealing, I want access now. And sexual appetite, only you can satisfy my appetite. So obviously this is a love life type of connection that you've probably had in other lives as well. So you may have been murdered by this person, or maybe you murdered them, or maybe you were a queen and a king, or, you know, slaves somewhere together. But there may be financial stuff that's like being impacted by this stuff. Like, if you're poor in another life, sometimes we carry that around. It's like a lesson that we need to learn and turn into a blessing. Once we learn our lessons, they turn into blessings. So whatever, you know, the lesson is around it. Sometimes people place too much emphasis on money, and it's like, if you just don't want, like, you want to want it so that you can manifest it, but you don't want to need it. Like, you don't need it. Nobody fucking needs it. There's really nothing like you could survive without it, you know? Like, what's going to happen if you don't have any? Nothing. It's just it's going to be mildly uncomfortable for you. But it doesn't usually happen unless people go really, really extreme. So, you can do anything with it because it's energy. Like money, everything is energy. If you just get into the right energy, it will come and it will flow and it'll be easy. So maybe somebody has to release some stuff around that, or maybe it's on your side if you've been having struggles with finances. It's like, once you just shift your like lack mentality about it, like the focus on that, I don't have it and I want it, and I don't have it and I want it. It's just telling the universe, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. I want it, but that means I don't have it. So if you switch it to I have it, I'm good, I'm stable, I'm awesome, I got everything I need, and more of it, more of it, more of it, it comes. So try to switch that. And then there was vows. So the vows is like, this could be chastity, this could be poverty, this could be silence, or like, I'm not gonna fucking eat for 30 days, like some weird thing. Basically, there was vows that were made and they could be still holding in this life, so you would want to get rid of that because it's going to impact you. And having this spirituality and religion, it was probably for, your spiritual thing. Like, you may have been somebody that needed to take vows. We have the high priest and high priestess here, so you could have been both. There could have been they could have been high priest, you could have had high priestess, and maybe you took vows together that are still messing with you. Because it did say, like, bound to them. It's like, you don't want to be bound to a person. Like, you could want to be with a person and find it to be, like, fun and exciting and all of that. But we do have karmic relationship here. So, actually, in this deck, it's not bad. It's like, it's basically just saying, like, there's karma that you have. Like, there's shit that you guys did that you need to heal. And that doesn't always have to be bad. I know, because, like, in the Twin Flame community, everybody's like, karmics are bad. They're just doing their fucking job. They're just alive, You're just mad at them for being alive. So don't be mad at them. Just know that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, getting out of the way when they get out of the way, and that's it. You
can't do much. I mean, you could go kill them, but then you're going to have to come back here again. So, karmic relationship in here says, this card indicates that one or more of the people in your current life are from a previous lifetime. You both ended your relationships with karmic imbalances. This means that one or both of you are most likely harboring old feelings or resentment, right? That need to be healed and released. When this occurs, you will be set free from recurring destructive and toxic relationship patterns. So, whatever you got, that's like, usually it's the bad stuff, like resentment and anger. Like, that's usually when it's like, oh, this is, we gotta clear that because it's not good, it's not healthy. Like, nobody should be fucking carrying it for multiple lives. And then in some cases, this card will arise when there's a reunion with a beloved soul from a previous life. Perhaps you've finally reconnected with a romantic partner from your past, or a new friendship is bringing you great joy. With healthy past life connections, you'll immediately feel a sense of comfort and familiarity. You receive this card in answer to a question or concern that involves a karmic relationship. Fortunately, you can appeal to heaven for help in releasing any old stuck energies or emotions. You may also be guided to work with a specialist in past life regression and relationship healing. So it depends on what the relationship is. Like, if you've got something that's toxic and not good for you, if the person's still a dark entity, like, that may not be the best situation. If they're always fighting with you and like resentful and angry and mean, then you might need to get rid of that. And I'm seeing over here unresolved trauma preventing you from moving forward. So you could be stuck in a karmic cycle with somebody. Like, you might have married that person. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there, like, they meet their twin flame after they got married and they're like, damn it, like, oh no, like, I'm in the wrong place with the wrong person. But true love will be yours. So just, know that you are evolving. You're no longer who you were. You may have to bring awareness to other people about stuff, spirituality or what or whatever you've got going on for you. And then boundaries. Givers need to set limits. Takers never do. So if you've got somebody taking advantage of you, don't let them. Bring yourself into this place where you're like, all right, I'm not going to see illusions. I'm going to see the truth. And it's time to face my triggers. So whatever those triggers are, you need to make sure, because you could have beliefs that are stuck, keeping you stuck. You could believe that, like, oh, this person I married is my soulmate, the one I'm supposed to be with forever, but it may not be. You may need to remember who you are, where you come from, so that you can get to the right person. And they're saying falling back into old habits. So you may be, just repeating something that is not going to be good for you, or hasn't been, the best situation. It says ask their intent and set clear ones for yourself. So have very clear intentions and ask the people that you're dealing with what their intentions are. That way you don't get mixed up into something that hurts you, or like somebody runs away from the truth. If you've already had somebody run from you once, you gotta step up and be like, yeah, you're not going to do that again. Cord cutting is cut cords to people and situations draining you. So some of you definitely could have like somebody that's really like just really messing you up. So you might want to do that, because manifesting magic into your life will happen when you do. I know sometimes this can trigger people, but once you get through it, you'll be much, much better. It says this is meant to awaken you and learn from the pain. So like if it's not a good situation for you, it's probably not going to be your twin flame. So stop telling yourself that it is, if you've been telling yourself that, because you're going to like program yourself to like put up with really bad stuff that you don't need to put up with. But if it's like the person that you married and you just feel bad, or you're like codependent or whatever, you got to heal that stuff, and then you can go be with the right person that's probably going to be divine, Usually when we go through something shitty and karmic and toxic, the next one that we get to go to is going to be a little bit better. It's like if you were with the dark entity, you're going to get the angel. Like you get to upgrade, as long as you like do what you're supposed to do with your side of the street. And we had unrequited love. So again, I feel like some of you may be dealing with a situation where like it's unrequited. Like you may not love the person, but you may feel bad for the person. Like my sister does that. She's just like feels bad for somebody. She's like, I'm just going to be here. It's not normal. Don't do that, because it's not doing anybody any favors. So, try to be authentic with your emotions. But I do feel like for some of you, you may have just kind of gotten into a situation that, you know, you thought was one thing, and because you thought it so much, you maybe like don't want to like admit to yourself that it's not, but maybe it is. And only take that if it resonates, because I don't like saying that stuff, as I know it's going to trigger people. But you might, I mean, like when you make love to somebody, when you're close to somebody, you're intimate with somebody, you're going to know, you know, if it feels too awkward or if it's just horrible all the time. You can't ever be confident, or like nothing improves in your life as a result of that person coming into your life, then, you know, it may be an indication that that's kind of a karmic lesson, and that you got to get through it and out of it so that you can get to the good place with the good people and have the confidence back again and all of that. So if you're, you know, have been wondering or whatever, you know, maybe go within and really ask yourself. And it says endings are really just new beginnings. So it could be the time to come to an end of something that's been not healthy. It may be time to face those memories that surround it. But once you do, you're going to be good. You know, you're going to be going where you need to go. And look, it fears. You and your lover fear being hurt again. So maybe that's the thing. Like, you have already been through this, and now you have new love, or the person that you love could be coming out of something like this, and they could be afraid to love you. Because they were hurt. You could be afraid to love them because you've been hurt. Like, you know, everybody could be fucking afraid because people suck and hurt people. But you could feel like somebody's going to lie to you, or if somebody has lied to you or deceived you, they may lie to you again. Usually we have to go off of actions, you know, like just see what happens. Passion, what are you passionate about? This is your life purpose, so you get to be the one that gets to create the reality of your dreams through your consciousness. So make sure that you are, you know, spending time tranquil and relaxed, taking your time, slowing down. This doesn't have to be a rush, you know, especially when you have that much shit going on. And just pay attention to the things that are happening. Like, how are people showing up in your life? You're an extra sensitive soul, which is a blessing and a curse, because sometimes you care really badly about people who don't care really badly, and that's can be really bad. But you can take your power back with positive self-talk and affirmations. So like, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm healed, I'm whole, I'm aligned, I am healing my unresolved trauma, I am healing my karma, I am healing my life, I am abundant, I am well taken care of, the universe provides for me, you know, all that stuff. And with Atlantis here, you could have been like abandoned at some point in Atlantis, because people did that. But I feel like you may have actually abandoned people, because you had the High Priest and High Priestess. So you and your person maybe. Oh wait, did you have that? Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, here it is. So you may have been, you know, in Atlantis and took off as a High Priest and High Priestess to go to like Egypt or to go to wherever, just to kind of you know, save yourselves. And that may have left some karma too, because people that were left behind didn't make it, you know. It wasn't the nicest thing to do. So you could have some karma that you're healing from that. You could also have a big family. Oh, look, there's a witch and warlock. So murdered for your lifestyle, afraid to express yourself. You may have a hard time expressing yourself in this lifetime if you were fucking hung for being who you are in your last life, or saying something like a prayer, you know. Not necessarily easy to be like, hey, look at me, when that stuff happens. But you have an effortless love, partnership, codependency. This can only go so far, heal and grow. So I feel like you may have had a karmic situation that you're basically either getting out of or have gotten out of it, but it could be lingering, like the effects of it. There could be resentment that you're harboring, and that may need to heal. Now, you could be connected with a warrior who is also carrying resentment and needs to heal. They may have been orphaned at some point. They could feel like the black sheep. Finding home within themselves and self-acceptance is what they need. And I feel like with you just need to grow and heal here any type of codependency that you might have, because this could be an effortless love that you can have with this other person, but you know, you might need to heal. And you may always be alone. Breakups attracts Mr. or Mrs. Wrong. Open the heart to love. So this again kind of goes along with that, like being afraid to love, you know, holding on to resentment. Like, other people might have done stuff, but other people now, like new people, take the beating of it because they were hurt, or you were hurt in another connection. And then again, this is like that warrior battle from Lyra. So, fighter of wars and battles, always on defense, fight for beliefs, imbalances remain from the battles. So again, very much confirming what we've already had come through. And then twin flame, you could have had a chaser and runner dynamic with a person. It could have been an imbalanced relationship, which there's imbalances remaining. You could have been on the other side of the war at some point, you know, like stuff happens. Now you're soul family, and you need to stand on your own and become a leader in your life. So there could be karma, attachment, and you got to figure out this person's love language so that you guys can communicate with each other, because everybody has a different one. So some people like to receive gifts, some people like to have words of affirmation, some people like to be touched, some people like quality time. Whatever it is, you want to figure that out and try to be mindful of that, because things that don't mean shit to you might mean a lot to them, and if you're not doing it for them, or like vice versa, it can make things go bad. So, with the unrequited love, you probably don't want that. Maybe that was something too. Maybe you just didn't know each other's love languages, or there's unrequited stuff in another life, and in this life you maybe can heal the resentment or heal whatever pain it is or fear it is that's blocking you from being able to just come and be happy. And then we had father here, so there could be wounds around father, being orphaned. We had male and female as well, so you may have been a different sex in your last life. Like the last time you were here, you may have been a dude, your dude may have been a girl. You may have reversal roles, like you could be the feminine, like in body, but your energy may be masculine, and vice versa, or you may both switch back and forth. I feel like, because this one is about like being the opposite sex, but I feel like it's more so saying like this person, like you might be able to flip-flop, you know, like you can embody both pretty well. And again, you want to break those vows. So basically just say like on any level, any lifetime, any place, anywhere, any dimension, on, you know, there's a declaration of sovereignty that you can speak, and the declaration of sovereignty will get rid of any vows that you've had or held around money, around love, around sex, around speaking, you know, like just the basic things that people like to do in the name of religion and spirituality. I think that messed you up. You got a lot of lessons and blessings from there. Definitely galactic, because you came from the Galactic War, and you carry a lot of wisdom, because you're all the way back from there. You may have had a life as a tree, and you may like to, you know, go on to some transportation and travel around. And with the knighthood, again, I think this ties into basically the battles, the wars. It's like how many times we're going to see warrior battle stuff happening. And then phobias was on the bottom of the deck here. So there could even be phobias around certain things or people or places because of what happened in other lives. So pay attention to when you get a little like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know why I don't like that, but I just don't like it. It's probably something from another life. And same for, you know, the person that you're connected with. Like, pay attention to their stuff, because that might give you signs, indicate like, hey, I was a tree. Like, you know, if they start like having sap come off them, that might be, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It was weird because it was basically the whole thing was just confirming more of what I was already saying. So probably going to resonate with select few of you, like a lot, and maybe others not so much, but hey, can't be for everybody every time. Alrighty, thank you very much. In Monet, namaste.